a Ecos Virtuales este 8 de abril en muchas partes del mundo. Y es un placer, aunque seamos pocos, conectar en este nicho que es la poesía y es la escritura experimental y la comunidad. Ya hace un año fue el Ecos Virtuales. Empezamos por la pandemia, pero bueno, fue una gran forma también de entrecruzar y seguir creciendo la comunidad de Diccionare a través de la virtualidad. Entonces, bienvenidos. Vamos a tener increíbles lectores, performers, músicos hoy. Y nada, Dieguito aquí nos va a presentar en inglés.
Okay, so for the English-speaking side, it's hard to believe that it's been a year since we entered this pandemic. So now we are taking on the second edition of Ecos Virtuales, which is our way of bringing together what we already think is a very close-knit community. So I'm gonna go ahead and introduce our first performers of the night. They are montenegrofisher. Montenegrofisher is made of two, Luna from Chile and Adrian from the UK. They spend most of their time in their kitchen in London, preparing for a great social, cultural, and political revolution. Montenegrofisher son dos. Luna es de Chile, Adrián del Reino Unido. En estos momentos pasan gran parte de su tiempo en su cocina en Londres, preparándose para una gran revolución socio-político-cultural. Welcome me in joining in welcoming Adrian Fisher and Luna Montenegro.
Thank you guys, thank you, and thank you everyone.
A flow.
A glaff.
Whole
dance.
An alf.
G, 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 g. An alf. G, 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 g. Pulley.
Rope.
Tie.
A
lag. A lag. Hands up.
Let down.
A gaff. A must see.
A
Muse.
meant.
Geo. Bride.
Embroidered mind.
Hyperbolic design.
Encrusted. Mutilated.
Occultist. Cultist. Cubist. Plugging.
Blogging.
Staring.
Single identity cream topping.
Dropping. Tapping. Dropping. Tapping. Dropping.
Trampling while reversing.
Resting.
Being
below it.
Side of it.
Side of it.
The right side of it.
The right side of it. Returned.
Wrapped in it.
The right way up.
Correctly folded.
Correctly folded.
Past it.
End of a holy life. Do moths make new territories?
Digestive notation.
Loyalty and sacrifice.
Do caterpillars claim equal pay?
Legitimacy
In unity.
and prosperity
Clarity.
on special days.
Wallpaper and
Underwear.
Nobody
cares. unfairly.
How does it flap, 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 flap,
What
flap,
does it think?
flap, 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 flap? Is it digital?
Is it deletable? Does it fly?
Does it keep afloat?
Float?
Does it
Float? Does it
Fluff,
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 fluff, fluff, fluff, fluff, fluff, fluff, fluff, flick, 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 flick? Does it flick, flick? Washed of color,
hangs in rain,
waiting for souls
passing to sky,
before air conditioning kicks in?
a flagellant flush,
Flabbergasted, fizzy drink flat inside a flask, a flue, faultless fabric, frowning at you.
Are you staring at me?
Front windows,
Seamless world,
flags of lycra,
scratch and sniff flavor,
filthy odor,
faulty gadgets,
philosophical dispute,
ethics of ownership,
flagged up,
land ahoy,
penetrate, dry clean, crispy serviette,
tea, mug, china, plastic, bunting, Lady Diana.
so high, no one sees them.
Your face becomes
One,
one,
at least eats one,
shits one,
meets one,
a meat one,
a monumental, imperial, king of the land one, queen of the seven seas one,
a killer one,
a square Juno filter ready for Instagram one,
a gagging one,
wrapped around the filling, castor drapes, partition one, no fractal division,
scientifically proven,
big pharma, big brother, big sister, big louder,
ambisonic blue, red and white one,
accelerated, incarcerated, accustomed, abolished,
embroiled, embalmed,
exaggerated, extinct,
exiled,
stepped on in an art gallery one,
criticized, measured,
packaged, stretched, inserted,
mobilized, static one,
the ashes of one inside your suited jacket, at the end of your nose, on your shoulder blade, eye, skin, tongue, body, everybody's body, irregular flow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, increíble. Gracias, montenegrofisher.
Gracias,
Siempre.
chicos.
Gracias.
Bandera, bandera. Era bandera.
Wow, thank you so much. The next performer is Klaus Sour. Klaus Sour es un guitarrista de la Ciudad de México. Actualmente estudia jazz en el Centro de Estudios de la Universidad Veracruzana. Es el fundador del ensamble de música libre Interfacultad Jalapa. Klaus Sour is a guitarist from Mexico City. He currently studies jazz at the Center for Jazz Studies at the University of Veracruz. He is the founder of the Ensemble of Free Music in Jalapa, Veracruz. Bienvenido, Klaus.
Hi. Esta mañana escribí algo y voy a tratar de componer mientras, voy a improvisar algo. Les voy a dejar el escrito ahí en el chat en inglés, solo para que lo tengan ahí. y pues voy a ver qué sale. Miente, miente libre como liebre. Soy un mito y una mano. Tomo un libro, le recorto, le subrayo, le robo su origen. Imito las palabras por las normas. Canto una canción en desorden. Emulo los mismos instrumentos. Soy una mula de 6, 12 ojos, 12 notas, 12 horas, 12 frases desde 12 perspectivas distintas. Y ya.
Gracias, Klaus. Increíble. No sabía que escribías tan chingón. Está increíble. Muchas gracias.
Gracias, Klaus. Next up, we have Noland. Noland is an artist, poet, and photographer from New York. She is the author of the book of poems and photographs, Authentic Artifice. Noland es una artista, poeta y fotógrafa de Nueva York. Es la autora del libro de poemas y fotografías, Authentic Artifice. Bienvenida, Noland.
Where are you, Noland? Is she there? We can probably skip and then she can come back.
There she is.
There she is? No.
No, she's not.
Okay. We will go with Valentina, entonces, y ahorita regresamos a Nolan. Valentina es una artista cuyo proceso artístico se centra en los estados emocionales que el artista intenta entender a través de continuas operaciones de traducción, diseñando elementos que refuerzan los mecanismos del control del cuerpo. Valentina Díaz is an artist whose process revolves around emotional states, which she tries to understand through continual mediums of translation, designing elements that reinforce the mechanisms that control the body. Bienvenida, Valen.
La energía de un rayo de luz no se distribuye de forma continua en el espacio. Las platinas, fabricadas también de acero templado, sirven en combinación con las agujas de lengüeta para la formación de los puntos. En tanto que al accionar el aparato, el movimiento de las agujas es de vaivén rectilíneo, paralelo a las ranuras en que se encuentran localizadas. Las platinas ejecutan un movimiento de suba y baja perpendicular, siendo llevados continuamente hacia abajo por resortes colocados en la parte inferior, detrás de la placa frontal, por lo que no son visibles. El carro que se acciona, moviéndolo de derecha a izquierda y viceversa, a lo largo de los raíles sujetos del portaagujas, gobierna mediante su mecanismo los movimientos de las agujas y de las platinas. Los electrones no existen siempre, existen solo cuando alguien los mira, cuando interaccionan con otra cosa. Los saltos cuánticos de una órbita a otra constituyen su única forma de ser reales. Cuando nadie los perturba, no están en ningún lugar concreto, no están en un lugar. Una vez que se ha colocado un determinado número de agujas en posición de trabajo y se ha pasado el carro de derecha a izquierda para fijarlas, se obtiene una parada de agujas como lo muestra la figura 4. Aquí se pueden reconocer fácilmente las fases del proceso de formación de los puntos, que se suceden en forma ondulante a lo largo del aparato y al paso del carro. Cuando por fin me liberaba, volví a mi casa transpirada y con los ojos colorados. Mi madre tejía a máquina, trabajaba de eso. Mi hermanita jugaba debajo de la mesa sobre una manta, todavía no sabía caminar. Me acostaba con ella ahí abajo, miraba al revés de la tabla de la mesa, los huevos de las arañas como perlas de seda en las junturas, las piernas tostadas de mi madre. Cerraba los ojos y me dejaba consolar por el ruido seco del carro de la Nitax, yendo y viniendo sobre los dientes de plástico. Rac, 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 rac. Lo que existe nunca es estable, es solo un salto de una interacción a otra. La graduación de los puntos de un tejido hecho a mano depende en primer lugar del grosor de las agujas y del hilo, pero también la técnica personal de cada individuo tiene una gran influencia sobre las características de un tejido. De tal manera, una persona puede tejer más apretado con agujas del 2,5 que otra con agujas del número 2. Por tal motivo es sumamente difícil establecer una norma estricta sobre este particular y los datos que se proporcionan a continuación sirven únicamente como orientación general. Eso es lo que sabemos de la materia. Un puñado de tipos de partículas elementales que vibran y fluctúan de continuo entre el existir y el no existir. Pululan en el espacio, incluso cuando parece que no hay nada. Se combinan entre sí hasta el infinito, como las letras de un alfabeto cósmico. Colóquese el hilo sobre la aguja extrema correspondiente y fórmase un nuevo punto accionando la aguja a mano. Póngase nuevamente el hilo sobre la misma aguja y fórmese otro punto que se montará en la aguja contigua hacia el centro. Colóquese el hilo ahora sobre la próxima aguja y entretéjanse los dos puntos que ya se encuentran en la misma. Fórmese un punto adicional a mano. Pásese este a la próxima aguja, hacia en medio y así sucesivamente. Los procesos elementales no pueden ordenarse en una sucesión corriente de instantes. Cada proceso danza independientemente de sus vecinos, siguiendo un ritmo propio. Alimentados por la humedad de los ladrillos y la escasa luz que se colaba por las junturas de los tablones, apañados por el rumor del agua que salía de un enorme caño para irrigar los canales de la rosera, los helechos tejían su mundo verde y vegetal, agarrándose a este mundo con los delgados, blancos tentáculos de sus raíces, reproduciéndose a sí mismos sin necesidad del viento, ni de los pájaros o las abejas, pues son hermafroditas. Si se intercalan pocas hileras adicionales y relativamente largas, se forman bolsones grandes, pero poco pronunciados. Si por el contrario se intercalan muchas pero muy cortas hileras, se obtiene un abolsamiento profundo, como por ejemplo un talón. Si las hileras acortadas se intercalan cerca del borde superior de una labor, no se forma concavidad, sino un borde en forma de arco. En vez del arco puede lograrse también un alargamiento unilateral si se intercalan las hileras acortadas en un extremo en vez de intercaladas en el centro. Agujeros negros, formados por las estrellas que han colapsado. La materia de esas estrellas se precipita hacia el interior aplastada por su propio peso y desaparece de nuestra vista. Para evitar la formación de agujeros en los extremos de las hileras acortadas, condúzcase el hilo invariablemente de abajo hacia arriba, alrededor de la aguja contigua, que está en posición de descanso. Las cosas del mundo interactúan de continuo unas con otras. La información que un sistema físico tiene sobre otro sistema no tiene nada de mental o de subjetivo. Es solo el vínculo que la física determina entre el estado de algo y el estado de alguna otra cosa. Una gota de lluvia contiene información sobre la presencia de una nube en el cielo. Un rayo de luz contiene información sobre el color de la sustancia de la que proviene el reloj. Un reloj tiene información sobre la hora del día. El viento transmite información sobre una tormenta cercana. Un virus del resfriado tiene la información sobre la vulnerabilidad de mi nariz. El ADN de nuestras células contiene toda la información sobre nuestro código genético que hace que me parezca a mi padre.
Gracias, Valen. ¿Ya acabó? Gracias. Increíble ver esta parte de tu trabajo como parte de un proceso mucho más grande. If you can check Valentina's work out, it's really amazing to see this as part of a long process of big installations and performances. Next now is Noland. Diego will present.
Second attempt with Noland. Noland is an artist, poet, and photographer from New York. She's the author of the book of poems and photographs, Authentic Artifice. Noland es una artista, poeta y fotógrafa de Nueva York. Es la autora del libro de poemas y fotografías Authentic Artifice. All yours, Noland.
Hola, can you hear me? Super loud. You been alive, better quit your lying. You've been a liar, better quit your lying. You've been a liar, better quit your lying. You're gonna reap just what you sow. Sowing on a mountain, reaping in a valley. Sowing on a mountain, reaping in a valley. Sowing on a mountain, reaping in a valley. You're gonna reap just what you sow. Wearing a crown of faces, the wise had all packed up, sideshow suitcases, seeking to leave world liberated from painted cakes, seeking to leave not a trace. Seeking the gemstone diplomat, wearing a crown of faces the wise had all packed up, sideshow suitcases wearing a contradiction apparatus in the massacre on mystery unfathomable. Venus reflections on Mars to see reflections on the cranial heart. Wearing a crown of faces, the wise had all packed up sideshow suitcases, seeking to leave world liberated from painted cakes, seeking to leave not a trace. Seeking the psychic on a silent bow, seeking the gemstone diplomat, my hideous skepticism, my rain block, my cell bow, summoning anything but the nature of evidence, rolling, summoning, disintegrating into light, the impermanence of the purple velvet reliquary thief, the impermanence of government, gold-speckled and romantic, jeweled baroness in a headdress coming down a Mexico City street, waving to the people, giving out bread and crumbs, of poetry like rubies morphing into sealed scrolls, pale-colored death, chasing behind a green horse with the mystery opal eye, and for the rivers reconverging to close up wounded whole galaxies, the serpent slithers through the mind to reveal a shadow in each reliquary, a thief of meaning, hiding behind corners. Hand outstretched on the turquoise pavement, Pachuca queens, clowns, beggars choosing coins, the degenerate, redeemed, disrobing upper-class masked status. Trick a turn twist, diverted the woods, the single path patience of exquisite life, naturally like a magician who rewires the place. Putting on minds, all the ways there are to think. Putting on minds like costume skirts, rouge, teal makeup blushed on the mind. She appeared on a rhythmic corner. Insect glow about her, intersection of dust bowl and midnight cowboy, corner of glamorous nymph and hideous car crash, nexus of the runaway train to Venus and shamanic fast. Soon you will vanish. How did you swim in the vast expanse? Were you putting us on to be a universe in a dust mite, refusing to get born, stay in a tiny dewdrop and surrender all form? Is the veil yet lifted? Is the tomb still looted? Is the jungle still noises? Is the siren still spinning? Is the oil well gushing? Is the planet still distant? Is the song still strung from the tallest taper? All the ways there are to think. You come up with a bit that you think might stick, but on an oil slick, you slip in and out of myth. Now you see her, now you don't, putting on minds. There she goes, could you be so wise? Think like Hermes, think like saint, think like snake surrounding the saint. Think like gossip being the devil's teal radio and do escape. Think like talking out both sides of your mouth. Who can keep up with invisible luck? Think like mutation, like viral hall of mirrors spiraling. Think like aquatic face booming on the tiny taste of nectar womb. Tiny taste of nectar on the tip of tongue. Take a bat to tongue, take a bash of the bat to tongue. To teach, beware tongue. Of tiny taste of nectar on the tip of tongue. They think that despite some disagreements, there is one language and we are all speaking it. Think like lady sweeping up on the rings of Saturn. Think like motorcycle on highway 999. Whose mind is it that you wear? All the ways there are to think, slick the slip, slop it off, one mind fixtures, one mind laws. The thing about a secret, when you put it out there, someone might kill it. It's better to be a joker in robes that billow like outlaw carnival come to town or mirror halls of shapeshift, like a tomb invader on the prowl for purity. The people's collective remembrance of their time in a hall of mirrors, battling a twisted pearl string of words that one couldn't argue clean with, couldn't fight straight with, an entangled vine that grew swirling and overtook the bedroom, flooded the bedroom, overtook the plains and skies, and encircled the earth like a dust cloud. Little, delicate untwisters worked meekly and quietly at the bottom of the storm, on the ground for centuries, detangling the vine, swirling messes of telepathic distresses, and though a new tangle sprung each instant, new workers kept coming with fine-toothed detangling combs, sat on the lookout for mercy, for truth, the angels of compassion. Writhing out of the sea and cement, they continued coming, and they will always keep being born, and they continue at the horizons where the first ones have fallen. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Nice to see you all. Happy to be in this beautiful universe. Thanks.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Nolan.
Nolan.
That was beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next is Eleni Sikelianos. Eleni Sikelianos es la autora de 9 libros de poesía. Su obra muestra su dedicación vitalicia a la ecopoesía, el animalia y la intersección de mundos humanos y no humanos. Eleni Sikelianos is the author of 9 books of poetry, and her work showcases her lifelong devotion to eco-poetics, animalia, and the intersections of human and non-human worlds. Thank you so much, Eleni. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Lucia. Thank you, Diego, for inviting me, and thank you all for being here. It's just a delight to see you all and hear all your work. I'm going to read a couple poems from, actually, I think most of what I'm reading like 4 poems and then going to show a little poem video. These are all from a long project I've been working on for a long time called Your Kingdom. And of course, your kingdom is the animal kingdom. Real world feeds. All you who feed on the food of earth, frog like a piece of dry leather creaking in the field, snapping up flies, hunter licking the pot of tiger bone stew, tire, a black tongue lapping a black cold road. Get this ghost mama off of me. What is it? Looking for all the animals in their animal holes, you, a citadel of real cellular transparency, tangling an uncertain analogy between a lynx's and your own folded, sleeping limbs. Your gams and finions and pins, your gams and pinions and fins like the mind, a mild or wild snarl of yarn. Return all the soft-bodied animals to their homes. Sea pansies, anemones, boars, bears, even pet guinea pigs not distracted from being by footsteps across the floor. We find ourselves cool and clean, and in the next hour, you're in the night surf, a ragged white washcloth stuffed in the corpse mouth, ash gray legs, wiry hairs nubbed down. What animal cadaver do you carry? The air there outside your window is around the tree. I still care for it all, you who light-fingered, night-fingered feed. Paradise before we killed or breathed. And this one is called Unmade. Out from deep grass, lions would line the streets, lie down and feed themselves to dwellers, offering up lion heart. To eat the heart of a lying down lion, clean cœur de lion, clown lion, lying human down. In a place where one grass blade makes the next grass blade shade, that grass blade made the next grass blade's root. That grass blade's root shaped it like a foot for the next grass blade's blade that cut it to the quick, quick wick of lion life flame. And this one's, I'm gonna try this. I've been wanting for a long time to do these. I've been collecting for maybe 5 years little, just very basic, almost like journal entries, videos on my poem. And so I'm gonna try a little, I'm gonna take this necklace off because it's making a lot of noise. I don't know if you guys can hear it battering. So I'm just gonna try playing the video that inspired part of this poem, just kind of midway through the poem. And then also I'm then gonna end with a little, the first attempt at a video poem. So this one is called Walking Bear Creek in the Snow. Maybe I'll just do this now, so that'll be easier. Can we do this? Sorry about the background. I'm not very good at this. We'll see how it goes. So Walking Bear Creek in the Snow. What is held inside the zero, inside the O egg, possibly my head? I heard the rattlesnake coiled and slipped into the brush to the side of the trail as it poised, ready to strike and telling me about it. Then my foot rattling the dry brush, rhyming, and it's its own meme now. I'll always hear it, not laughing, but being. That was its being sound. On the path, the bugs moving the dead rabbit around. Its grammar and phoneme rattling inside the big tin can of the world like anyone's. How do you know? I know because I speak a language too, a lung language night can hear in its big, empty, bald head. Other voice, correction. It wasn't a rabbit, it was a rat or a mouse. Does it matter? Yes, it matters which body. And I filmed it, the flies slipping in and out of a body hole, and beetles under the corpse eating and egg laying and moving the corpse around, as if the corpse would rise to life in its being eaten. And it does, it rises to life. My girl, tell me something about it. And then will you guys show, thank you. Will you show the last one for me? And many thanks to Lucia for putting my audio file with the video. And thank you all again.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much. I have the audio only, not the video.
Oh, of the Piney Creek?
Piney Creek, yeah.
Oh.
I don't have it. I don't have the video. Sorry.
Okay, well, let's see. You know what? Maybe I could, sorry for this delay. Maybe I can, I don't have it on this computer. It might take me a second. Do I? Let me see. We could just do what I just did, which is to do one and the other at the same time.
Okay. Yes.
If I have it, let me see. These are like prototypes, by the way, not done yet. Yeah, we might be able to do that, Lucia. It won't be as perfect because you put them together so well.
Yes. Sorry, I don't have it here.
Well, actually, I can say perfect because we can't do it, but it wasn't really perfect. But the way you did it was perfect. Let's see, is it this one? I don't know. I don't want to take too much time from everybody.
Yeah, I also like the piece as a sound piece.
Oh, okay, I guess we could just do that. And I did find this is just 18 seconds, so I can just play that on a loop. So yeah, do you want to just do the sound and I will do this?
Okay. You tell me 1, 2, 3.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Can I make it bigger? Okay. All right, we'll just try this. 1, 2, 3, go!
How does something silent make so much sound? Water talks to the water in my body. Any body of water talks to the water in any body. What does water say? Water in a glass stands silent. Pour this water in my mouth. I try to make it sound. All this loaded water rushing. Water slipping sideways, piling up. Water skin sliding over water's skin, breaking, folding. This creek is carrying chemicals. Where? Your body's water carrying oxygen. Where? All this water rushing through my heart. It cost me 55 gallons for a cup of coffee. Your head is watery. Your heart is watery. Your lungs and skin watery. Even your bones watery. Protect the water. Protect the water.
I couldn't hear it. I don't know if you guys could, if the audio worked, but that's okay. Could you guys hear the whole thing? You could? Oh, okay. So yeah, sorry, the makeshift prototype, but there we go. Thank you, Lucia.
Thank you. No, I'm sorry I didn't have the video, but that was amazing. It's like a prayer. I really love that piece. Thank you, Eleni. So beautiful.
Yeah, really stunning, Eleni. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our following artist is an artist and writer living in Los Angeles. Es un artista y escritor que vive en Los Ángeles. Please welcome Nick Herman to the screen.
Hi guys, can you hear me? No? Yes? Am I here?
Yes, you're here.
Live. I love the idea of a prototype. That's good. This is also a prototype. I'll read it in English and then I'll do it in Spanish.
And land. And land, what is land, and what is land, and land is nature, and nature, what is nature, and what is nature, and nature, what is natural, and what is natural, and what is natural, and what is natural, natural is abstraction, and an abstraction, natural is abstraction, and what is abstraction, and what is abstraction, and what is listening, and listening, what is listening, and what is listening, and listening, what is listening, and what is land, and listening, and land, listening is land, and land, and land. What is the word for land? Y tierra. Y tierra, que es la tierra, y que es la tierra, y tierra es la naturaleza, y tierra es la naturaleza, y que es la naturaleza, y que es la naturaleza, es natural, y lo que es natural, y lo que es natural, y natural, natural, es abstracción, y abstracción, que es la abstracción, y que es la abstracción, y que es la abstracción, está escuchando, y escuchando, que está escuchando, y escuchando, que está escuchando, y escuchando, 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 es tierra y tierra. ¿Cuál es la palabra para tierra? ¿Cuál es la palabra para tierra?
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
¿Cuál es la palabra? ¿Quién sabe?
Thank you, Nick. Our next writer is one of my personal favorite. He has become somewhat of a spokesperson for our project. Christopher Rey Pérez is a poet working from within a matrix of opaque folklore, violence, and language. Christopher Rey Pérez es un poeta que trabaja dentro de una matriz de folclore opaco, violencia y lenguaje. La pantalla es tuya, Chris.
Thanks, Diego and Lucia. I'm really happy to be reading with Disonara and everyone else today. It's really nice to hear everyone's work. I want to read some small little poems that are kind of short and brief that are part of a project that I've been working on for, I guess, the past 2 or 3 years. It's sort of loosely based off of or in respect to the neighborhood Tepito in Mexico City and the market, the outdoor market that's there. This ethnography needs a heretical green dot placed atop my left eyebrow, a cast of immortals with the aim to bestow whatever they learn upon Alberto. He said so many things I don't even know how to say, and he said I got to say it cantadito. That this isn't everything happening inside an unabashed preservation, a dialectical rhythm of morning eating soft-boiled eggs like a circuitous representation made to generate. The sublimated auctioneer who take us to another level, and it a good one, where people call to other people and wave outside of Elysium to las gemelitas de la impulsora dressed in yellow. Brave cameramen for YouTube make a video of people sleeping. As a grievance of living, I go out shopping inside the same anthill, 3 plastic bags, depending on the angle. When I drift past the clothesline with one's co-father's whistle, the girlfriends of La Unión Tepito wear Uggs and have all disappeared. Compartan. Along with Lourdes, Pancho, Jerónimo, and Leti, El Teclas, Marilu, Pepito, and Manu, Jimena, El Morrison, Lacati, Brian, El Roba Gallinas, and Pan Duro. Alberto was around the corner with the Cuban and the dashiki. We got into global fashion on the tip of things when we decide a replica will realize the work, why the ethos of love is not charity. I saw a silhouette on top of us making out a clone who got to fake it for a bit of ipseity within self-ascribed culture, the way it practiced to make imitation style or deviate. I was already gone. What kind of strawberry are you? I said without monies. It had to be a Cohen. The both of us, a febrile tension navigating dead pleasures. When a whole band of people arrived from Naucalpan to see what it like to fill a space with Sonido Pancho and his gear. A pedagogy of manners determined the occasion to mitigate, but what joy is maraschino cherries beneath pink pants, you and me sharing. Shrimps are little aphrodisiacs. In Michelandia, cover me in sesame, I'm happy. A murdered out Peugeot broken down by the open windows fill an urn for 2, an octoctonous reasoning with an indelible upward inflection at the end of each sentence. I imitate a belief in diverse tactics in case it time to insufflate homeopathic dilutions. But what about the bulk product of cell phones we copped this morning? Mariana asked if we going to sell them now that even Hondurans, Salvadorans, and Nicaraguans are sent back down from up north. Whoever around's going to tell a story, look, a bullet went pew 11 years ago. vertiginous mercantile circulation, a geography that closes in on theater, unacceptable and beside the point, a tour, an Eiffel Tower replicated, a preponderance of flavor for comparison, wedding photo shoots in the street, this guy or his compatriots he calls an ox, strange roles, a rubber chicken, the whole social class to which we are born, my notebook, a Genovese owner from 1628, half a box of bones, 18 Spaniards, 3 mestizos, 1 Morisco, and harrowed circumspect mulattoes lined up along with Don Carlos the typesetter and Don Alfonso the coachman. It was so cheap there and evolving wrongly, until Alberto buyed a stereo amplifier to set up his sound system. Then we eat octopuses, price saddlebags with pirates casting sail for Beijing. What was I doing in Mexico? Mariana gave me a kiss and then one on each cheek for Alberto. We got fat calabazas for the barbecue. An inside joke from La Arrolladora Banda Limón de René Camacho played on Alberto, who was indigenous. You was carrying odors always, and when there's money in the way, silly and dememoried for the question of love, we say this vegetable is true when little and edible, including its flower. We prefer it around here over chrysanthemums. If we do it once, we was going to repeat it until either dead or able to potentiate. My homage to the ayuntamiento got us paid, but vendors still go to jail. Prices still diverge from the norm. The post-industrial copy is nonetheless manufactured by children. New guidelines for different zones, a plaza expropriated, a building demolished, even pharmacies that give away doxycycline with the purchase of Gatorade. Thank you.
Wow, incredible. I love to see how that project is always evolving, growing so much. Our next reader is Leanne Brown. Leanne Brown es la autora de Other Archer y la fundadora de Tender Buttons Press, una editorial que publica obras experimentales de poesía escrita por mujeres. Leanne Brown is the author of Other Archer and the founding editor of Tender Buttons Press, which is dedicated to publishing experimental women's poetry. Welcome, Leanne.
Hi, everybody. This is such a beautiful, delicate reading. I love the animals, all the roosters and the mice and all the animal noises we're all making. And there's poetry everywhere. I'm at my parents' house in North Carolina. Yes, Eleni, we are the animals. And I think, Eleni, you had a mouse. I just found a mouse in my parents' desk. It has a little poem with it. If you have pets, I'll be their playmate. If your furniture needs dusting, I'll do the trick. If you have a computer, slip me over your mouse. So I'll have a pulse and a tail. I'm Santa Mouse. Patricio, are you there? We're gonna do it.
I'm here, I'm laughing.
Hi, Patricio. Are you gonna share the screen?
Yeah, go ahead, Lucia.
Let me present Patricio as well. Patricio Ferrari es un poeta, editor y traductor de español, inglés, portugués, francés e italiano. Una de sus traducciones más recientes son las obras completas de Alberto Caeiro de Fernando Pessoa. Patricio Ferrari is a poet, editor, and literary translation from English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, and Italian. One of his most recent translations is The Complete Works of Alberto Caeiro by Fernando Pessoa. Thank you and welcome, Patricio and Leanne.
So, I'm going to read a couple translations that I did of Leanne's poems. Leanne, do you want me to share the screen as after you read the poems, or?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, go ahead. You could just share it and we'll.
Okay. Because you may want to read other poems, not just those 3, and then we can just finish with those 3.
Okay.
If you want.
Let's just do the 3 and then I'll just read one little one.
Oh, sounds good. Okay, so
okay, thanks.
You read. Okay, you'll do the English and then I'll read the Spanish.
Okay.
In between. Okay.
Let me get it. I thought you had this English too. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no. For this one I don't, but I do for the other 2.
I got it. I'll open it. Okay. I should know this by heart by now, but I pledge allergy to the flail of the United States of Amigo and to the reputation for which it stands, one national park, under Godmother, indivisible, with lice and kebab for allegiance. I pledge allegory to the flagellant of the United Statistic of Ammunition and to the reproduction for which it stands, one naughtiness, under good, indivisible, with lick and juvenile for anatomy. I pledge allelomorph to the flagelliform of the United State-of-the-Art of American English and to the repudiation for which it stands, one nationalism under go-getter, indivisible, with library science and juvenile court for alleluia. On my hop, I will try to serve Godmother by coup de grace and to live by the give and take scramble lawn. On my hoodlum, I will try to serve goose, my coupon, and to live by the gladioli scrap heap laxative. On my honors of war, I will try to serve go-go dance, my country music, and to live by the gizmo scowl lawyer.
Prometo alergia al bando de los Estados Unidos de amigo y a la reputación que representa un parque nacional bajo la diosa madre indivisible, con liendres y brocheta por lealtad. Prometo alegoría al flagelante de las estadísticas unidas de la munición y a la reproducción que representa una travesura ante el adiós indivisible, con lengüetada y juvenil por anatomía. Prometo alelo mutación a la flageliforma del Estado Unido del Arte del Inglés americano y al repudio que representa un nacionalismo bajo el anda a ganarlo indivisible, conciencia de biblioteca y corte juvenil suprema de aleluya. En mi salto trataré de servir a la diosa madre, a mi coup de grâce y de vivir según ese toma y daca de la revuelta ralea. En mi bando trataré de servir ganso, mi cupón, y de vivir según la pila laxativa de gladiolos de sobra. En mis honores de guerra trataré de servir al baile a gogó, a mi música country, y de vivir según el abogado caracúlico especialista en aparatos truchos.
Gracias, Patricio. Thank you for the translation.
De nada.
This is a part of a very early poem from Polyverse. If grammar is the way the mind works, this includes the music of syntax. Thinking is daily living, the surprise of faces, children uptown, her grasping at phrases, scent of her familiar, votive, blue.
Si la gramática es la manera como la mente funciona, esto incluye la música de la sintaxis. Pensar es el diario vivir, la sorpresa de los rostros, niños al norte de la ciudad, su comprensión de frases, fragancia de su familiar, votivo azul.
I sleep with two. One goes up and one rides away. One stays up all night. I think with more than two, not deciding but enjoying, everywhere colliding, working and sleeping, writing, lying down. Crushed between him and her is nice. Crush, trouble.
Duermo con dos. Alguien sube y alguien cabalga. No se duerme en toda la noche. Pienso con más de dos. Sin decidir, pero gozando. Por todas partes, chocando, trabajando y durmiendo. Recostada, escribiendo, enganchada entre él y ella es lo más. Enganche, joda.
Thank you. I'm just going to do one more little song poem, and then I'm going to hand it over to Patricio to hear some of his work. I've been experimenting with just walking around with my phone and sort of saying poems into the phone, and also dream transcriptions. And this was kind of a waking dream of a walk I took. And it's hopefully the beginning of a longer project that I've been working on with Louise Landis Levi, trying to hear the manifestations of the goddess. I guess you said the godmother. I'm interested in the pronunciation, the translation of godmother. You had
Diosa madre.
Diosa madre. That's what they say. The goddess mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, goddess mother. That's great. I like that. At the edge of the forest, I heard the voice of the goddess shine forth. The trillium quivering paths with clear running through the moss, winding, winding moss. Flowers and tender sheets, the rain is in the flowers. And to do your sheets in the dear stomach, the rain is in the flowers. And the tender shoots in the tears, forest. In the dear stomach, hello. The most pleasurable bath in the world, with James Brown in the background, I bushwhacked through the woods. Why am I always compelled to break branches to clear the way? I saw a rotten tree with an owl, whole, perfect. Owl, whole, perfect owl. I passed another tree and a bird flew out of a huge jug of mushrooms, chaga mushroom. Did it clearing for the warriors, a dear super highway full of mullings, giant mullins, crazy rain down, fuzzy and rain down. Thank you.
Bien, Lian. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, lovely. So, Patricio, I think you are next by yourself and you're the last reader of tonight.
Gracias a toda la gente que está aquí. The translations that I did of Lian back in New York at the time then ended up coming out in the wonderful Arcadia from Bogota. And the translations that I just read, I did with my dear mother who's in Argentina. Graciela. Thank you, Lian, for those wonderful poems. People really, really, really love, especially the first one still so timely and prevalent, and I still hear from people about it from time to time. Thank you for having me here, Lucia, and I see faces of people and names that I know and that I miss, Lian and Eleni and Eleni, and those whose works I get to know now. And this is the first time that I'll be reading from the opening of a manuscript that I wrote a few years ago at Brown, first working with Forrest and then with Monica de la Torre. And this is so the poem that I believe will open when published, the Mater Buenos Aires, which is the first volume of Else Here, which has a second volume with poems mainly about the US and a third collection of poems titled Else Here, with poems about the world. The first one, as the title says, is also about Buenos Aires, but not only, and it pays homage to the mother and to the modern of beginnings. And this was really through this poem, which I entitled Nostra in Italian, and the book does have some Italian every now and then, as all of you who know Buenos Aires, the influence of Italy throughout the end of the 19th and beginning of the century up to 1950 was very, very strong. And it was in my family, so it's also another homage to that. But this was my way, and it's in 3 parts, has an incipit of, mention to the poem I originally wrote, listening in loop to Vivaldi's Concierto en La menor para 2 violinos, cuerdas y continuo, 522, Opus 3, number 8. And I invite you to, if you enjoy the piece, to listen to, or just to listen to the piece without the poem. It's quite something. But this was really my way of attempting to write a poem, to bring the 2 languages together, and yet having the 2 languages be their own. So I'll be reading in the 3 parts, going back and forth. At times you will be sensing a translation, at other times a transcreation. But if anything, the only note that I can add to it is that it is the beginning of something, of a muttering, of life, of universe, but also the womb of a mother, of a child. Nostra. Vivaldi, Concierto en La menor para 2 violines, cuerdas y continuo, 522, Opus 3, número 8. 1. Herejías sin scurpecta, sabías de la noche. Alguien corría, ¿quién corría la ávida alineación? Clavículas del silencio. Alguien corría, corrías al haz de sombras geometrías. Digitígrados soles en blanca menor. Corría la improvisada medida, desmedidoso yo, yotro de temblores, cuerpo lilamente desasosegado, jalo luz, inexístome, alumbramiento tu ayer seré. You erected since corpect, you knew of the night. Someone run who run the avid alignment clavicles of silence. Someone run, you run all. Corrías alas, all some, al-as, all some brass geometries, blank minor suns of the ground. Run the improvised measure, this measured I, desmedidoso yo, yotro de temblores, I, etc. of tremblings, cuerpo lilamente desasosegado, body lilacly unhushed. Halo luz, halo luz, inexístome, I inexist myself. Alumbramiento, tu ayer seré, your yester I'll be day. 2. Age of knowless clefs, épocas de claves no saber. Sabérrimo barro, te toco sin nombre, cualquiera del habla primigenia, orbe cifrado. Knowest erstwhile, I took you nameless, which want of the prime genius bubble. Cipher or y cuando colectivamente escalas, and when the collective mind you scale, piedra invernal, stone reunión, nocherra, iron night gathering, modulation or mena modulación, ancora calda, ancora férrea, ancora nostra. Ancora calda, ancora férrea, ancora nostra. 3. Winter me, inviername, porque de inmenso alloy, because the immense alloyed, alienación mental, filament all, aliases, aliar metales por, aliases of metals be, because in pure praise plan, porque en abrazo puro blanc entra. Entera ofrenda voluta en torn offering scroll, lenguas duelen en, language dwelling in, fraguas en aguas, whispers in wisps, indeleble transitiva, errada, indelible, transitive, branded, consumed by abounding waters, consumida por sonantes ascuas, son antes boca de ámbar, a bound book of umbra, de ámbar, son antes boca de a bound book of rastros de astros, traces of stars. Enter immoderata, entra, rastros de astros, immoderata. Gracias. Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Por favor, a ustedes, a ustedes.
Gracias a todos. Increíble ver todas sus caras y su trabajo, increíble. Thanks for everyone, to all the readers. That was great, Patricio. So great to see all your faces, to see all your works in progress. I love that this is an open space for experimentation, you know, for just sharing our works. So thank you, gracias. Vamos a continuar con los ecos virtuales. Vamos a tener 2 más. We'll have 2 more ecos virtuales sessions in a couple weeks, and then in other couple weeks. So please tune in, and so happy we're all here and we're growing in the community, Mexico City and other places. Gracias, gracias.